everyone, welcome back to English with Gifts. In today's lesson, you're going to be learning about phrases and clauses. Many people are confused about the difference between phrases and clauses. Are both the same? That is what we are going to be talking about in this video. You are going to find out about the difference between phrases and clauses and learn how to identify them. All right, before we start, if you have any questions, please type them in the comment section below. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about the difference between phrases and clauses. But first, let's talk about how to differentiate between a phrase and a clause. Or first, let's identify how both are similar. They are similar in this way. Both of these refer to groups of words that are meaningful. Now look at these two examples. The first example is at the shop. The second example is Jackson visited the principal's office. You can see that both are meaningful. The first one is a phrase, while the second example is a clause. Therefore, what is the difference between them? Well, the difference is a clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb combination. So, Jackson visited the principal's office is a clause because it has a subject, which is Jackson, and a verb, which is visited. Visited is the past tense of visit. So, this is a clause. On the other hand, a phrase is a group of words without a subject-verb combination. An example is at the shop. It is a phrase because there is no subject-verb combination. It is very simple to understand how to identify or differentiate between a phrase and a clause, but keep this important difference in mind. A clause has a subject-verb combination, but a phrase does not. Furthermore, let me give you more examples so you can learn how to easily identify phrases and clauses. Both phrases and clauses contain groups of two or more words, and both help us to construct sentences, but they both have different roles. Let's look at the following words. The following words are phrases, and you will notice that in all of these, there are no subject-verb combinations. These examples also show the most common types of phrases we have in English language. For example, the old man. The old man is a phrase focusing on the noun man, which makes the old man a noun phrase. The same applies to the second example, an interesting story. It is a phrase focusing on the noun story. So therefore, it is a noun phrase. Now let's look at another example. Will be working and mustn't sit are examples of verb phrases because they only have verbs in them. All of these words are verbs. Similarly, we have the adjective phrases. Very intelligent is an example of an adjectival phrase, and completely dark is another example of an adjectival phrase. Now, these words are adjectival phrases because the focus is on intelligent and dark. The other words in these phrases are only helping the main words and which are adjectives. Now let's look at another type of phrases. The next one is adverb phrases. And examples of an adverbial phrases I'm going to be giving you is quite easily and very fast. Now these are adverb phrases because the adverbs easily and fast are the focus in these phrases. Finally, beside the mall and in time are examples of preposition phrases. You can as well call them prepositional phrases because each of these tells us about a place or time using prepositions beside and in. These are the most common types of phrases we have in English, and I want you to always remember that these are phrases because they don't have a subject-verb combination. All right, now we are going to be going to clauses. Now, what did I tell you at the beginning of this lesson? I said a clause is a group of words with a subject-verb combination, okay? So let's look at some example. I want you to look at these examples of clauses. Like I said earlier, in English grammar, there are many different kinds of clauses, but the most common two, which are very important, and of course I'm going to be discussing in this lesson, are independent and dependent clauses. So, what is an independent clause? An independent clause is a clause that can stand alone as a sentence. Yes, it can represent a simple sentence. Now let's look at some example. He came late. This is a clause because it has a subject he and a verb came. Came is the past tense of come. And it is independent because it can stand as a sentence on its own, and of course, it is meaningful. While a dependent clause is a clause that has a subject-verb combination but cannot stand as a sentence. For example, because I went to the concert is an example of a dependent clause. It has a subject, I, and a verb, went. But if you analyze this example, it is not a complete sentence. When I said, because I went to the concert, what should be running through your mind? Yes. Is that complete? What should be running through your mind is, then, what happened? Because I went to the concert. So if I come to you now and tell you because I went to the concert, you will be expecting me to add an additional information. So that is why it is a dependent clause. To make it a full sentence, you have to combine it with an independent clause such as my mom was upset because I went to the concert. Is that meaningful? Yes, that is a complete sentence. Another example is, please send me the document before I travel. This sentence has two clauses. The first one is independent. Please send me the document. While the second clause is dependent, before I travel. Dependent clauses often begin with because, unless, when, if, after, before, while, whenever. To wrap up this lesson, please note that I am going to be attaching a practice PDF link to this video. Download it, answer the questions, and upload it back into the comment section where I am going to be checking to see if you can identify phrases and clauses correctly. Of course, I will announce the best result. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please subscribe to this channel and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.